influencing popular culture, politics, and everything in between. The local station takes you ringside as we discuss the crazy world that is professional wrestling. This is Going Ringside with the local station.
Hello there and welcome to a special on-location episode of Going Ringside. We are outside WJCT Studios in Jacksonville. Why did I pick this spot? Because this is the brand new home of Ring of Honor. Tony Khan's company has decided to use their studio to shoot Ring of Honor shows here in Jacksonville, which you can attend as a guest and watch in person here at WJCT. So why are they doing it? Maybe you can hear the jackhammering and let me illustrate it to you. Right there across the street, that's Daly's place, headquarters for AEW, who also own Ring of Honor. Well, if you pan to the right, to my camera person, can you pan a little, show us some of that construction in the distance? It's part of the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium, Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. It's under massive construction for the next couple years. So as a result, AEW Ring of Honor, it's kind of hard for them to use the facilities over here. Tony Khan has turned to WJCT, their neighbor, right across the street in Jacksonville. So I decided to bring in a Ring of Honor star to talk to us a little about their new home here at WJCT Studios. Pure champion Lee Moriarty is about to join us here. I'm so excited to sit down with Lee and talk about this new venture for Ring of Honor to now be home-based here in Jacksonville instead of on the road, which they've historically done for years. Well, we're excited today to be joined by Pure Champion Lee Moriarty. Lee, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Before we talk a little about Ring of Honor, explain to our viewers what Pure Champion, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I'm the Ring of Honor Men's Pure Champion. I'm the longest reigning Ring of Honor Men's Pure Champion of all time. And what it is, it's about focusing on the sport aspect of professional wrestling at an extra level, and it presents extra challenges. So in a normal professional wrestling match, you have unlimited amounts of rope breaks. You can punch as many times as you want. But in pure rules, you are only allowed 3 rope breaks. So you have to figure out ways to wrestle yourself out of these situations. You have to challenge yourself a little bit more. Strikes are a little bit more limited, so you can't punch in the face more than once or you get disqualified. And a big thing is there must be a winner. So something that's more different than the traditional pro wrestling matches is if I were to get disqualified, the championship would change hands. Traditionally, in professional wrestling matches, people have gotten away with retaining their championship by getting disqualified. That's not the case here. If something were to go to a time limit draw, there's judges that would make the decision like you would see in a boxing or MMA bout. So things like that. It's very much accentuating the sport aspect of professional wrestling more so than usual.
Well, Lee, I got to ask you about what has been going on with the Ring of Honor. We're here, our TV show's based in Jacksonville, and we hear you guys are setting up a lot of shows in Jacksonville. Can you tell me anything about that?
Yeah, so as right now, Jacksonville is going to be the new home of Ring of Honor. We're going to be taping there every few weeks. People can sign up at ringofhonor.com to be on the wait list to get tickets up to 4 for each person. And it's going to create a very unique experience because in professional wrestling, every area, every town we go to, they have these unique fan bases that have their own ways of interacting with wrestlers or each other in the crowd. And something I enjoy about Jacksonville is they have the Duval count, which is very common. So someone will do 1, 2, kick out, Duval. And that's become a very common thing. So with Ring of Honor being in Jacksonville now, I think you're going to see a lot of those things weekly on our television program.
I want to drill down kind of on where the show is just because it's our next door neighbor here in Jacksonville. It was at WJCT Studios, Channel 7. Our local viewers will know. What's kind of the setup like in there? It's a new venue for y'all.
Yeah, it's very new. We just did our first taping there, and it was very comfortable. So it's a very new venue for us, but it's also familiar because we've run shows at Daly's place, which is nearby. So it's new but familiar. We have the high level of production that you're used to seeing with Ring of Honor, All Elite Wrestling, and it's in this new setting, and it's very intimate with the fans being close by. And you never know, you might catch somebody and you're live on a dive.
Very possibly. Well, what is it like? Because you've traveled and wrestled all over the world to have a home-based kind of TV show now environment. What's that like?
I think it's unique in the sense that it's a home base, so it's somewhat consistent. So you kind of know in a way what to expect when it comes to the crowd, like we talked about earlier, but also it's very unpredictable in the sense you never know who you're facing. You never know who's going to appear on these Ring of Honor events. We recently had a AEW champion that I won't spoil yet appear on the recent tapings and things like that. So it's something that it'll feel like almost home games for a lot of us because it's a regular place for us, but it's still something new and growing, and it's something to be interested about.
So we are very familiar with your owner over at Ring of Honor and AEW with Tony Khan and the Khan family because they also own our football team. Kind of what's that dynamic like, the merging between pro wrestling companies and NFL?
I think it's really cool because there's obviously the appreciation of sports and like athletes taking care of their bodies. They take care of us as professional wrestlers. And then, we're seeing a lot more integration and merging. Tony Khan recently announced a partnership with the NFL and pro wrestling. So you're going to see luchador masks for all the NFL teams and things like that. So that's very cool. Even like we said, competing near Jacksonville, near Dearly's Place and all these things, you just feel a connection to other worlds. He also has a relationship with Fulham Football Club, excuse me, as him being owner of that. So it's just really cool to have all these different sports aspects come into relationship with professional wrestling. And that's, again, talking about pure wrestling, being able to present this more as a sport as what it is.
So a lot of our viewers may have not seen Ring of Honor. They maybe grew up on WWE or whatever. They've seen some AEW. Talk to me about what viewers get when they tune into Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think Ring of Honor is a place that you're going to see a lot of the people develop who are going to be the biggest stars in professional wrestling. No matter where you look, from whatever company, whether that's AEW, New Japan, CMLL, or like you mentioned, most of these big stars came from Ring of Honor in the past. Like AEW would be a very different place, and who knows what it would look like now if it wasn't for Ring of Honor coming before them. So we say in AEW, that's where the best wrestle. Ring of Honor is where those people got their start. That is where they kind of reach that next level to then become the best. So this is where a place that I get to develop and become the best in the world, not just as a pure wrestler, but as an all-around professional wrestler.
And before we go, for you personally, dream matches, dream opponents, anyone you have?
Man, I got a ton, and I've been able to face some of them for this championship, like Nigel McGuinness recently, Blue Panther, who's a Lucha Libre legend. But there's a few people I would love to work with if I got the opportunity. One of them is a former Ring of Honor pure champion himself, and Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Yeah,
How do you fight Samoa Joe?
I think that's something I haven't planned. And I don't think no matter how much I plan, they say like everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. It's going to be one of those things where I'll come in with a game plan. I'm going to have to adapt once he starts punching me in the face. But I look forward to that challenge if that opportunity ever comes in front of me.
Well, Pierre Champ, Lee Moriarty, we will look at for you in Jacksonville now, over when Ring of Honor is at WJCT Studios and over right by Daly's Place. Lee, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So I appreciate Pure Champ Lee Moriarty sitting down with us to talk about Ring of Honor coming to our neck of the woods in Jacksonville. So I bring in our friend of the show who's from Jacksonville, Desiree Joseph of the Chutes and Ladders podcast. Desiree, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to talk to you about this dynamic of Tony Khan bringing now another organization. Mm-hmm. So you and I remember during the pandemic, AEW was at Daly's Place every day. And now across the street, they've got Ring of Honor there at WJCT. What do you think of this, that Tony's utilizing kind of that whole area?
Hey, I like it. They're bringing wrestlers into our city, and we get to watch some really awesome shows.
So it's interesting that they were telling us that you can get 4 tickets at a time to go down to the show. You got to go to Ring of Honor and get on the waiting list. Mm-hmm. Do you think, speaking to our Jacksonville people, do you think you'd get a lot of people who would be like, I want to go on that? It's kind of like what NXT does down in Orlando.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it because of our local wrestling crew. We're a group of wrestling fans online, and they completely sold out, I think, the first taping already.
What do you think of when Tony bought Ring of Honor? He had AEW. Ring of Honor was kind of languishing, but still had a lot of, fan base.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Ring of Honor. It's got the history. Do you think that was a good move for him to bring it under the AEW brand?
100%. And he actually, when we would do tapings for Dynamite and Collision, they would do Ring of Honor tapings before. So
this was back in where their dailies place all the time.
This is actually recent. So anytime you go to a taping or any kind of local show that they're here, they'll do a Ring of Honor dark match.
And in talking to Pure Champ Lee Moriarty, a lot of the Ring of Honor stars are the next generation of stars.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the case?
Yeah, and what I love is they'll show up on Ring of Honor. Sometimes they'll appear on AEW and then kind of feel them out and see how the crowd likes them.
Yeah, so you never know who will show up at these shows.
Right.
It absolutely is worth going down if you're in North Florida, South Georgia, or really a couple hours away and you want to come in for it. It could be fun. And I want to actually, before we go, you're the type who travels a few hours to go to wrestling shows.
I do.
Is the drive worth it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah?
Yeah, and from what I saw from the first taping already, there were a lot of familiar faces that we love to see on AEW that was there just hanging out and taking pictures with the fans.
So, yeah, it is definitely a fun thing. So, thank you for joining us. Desiree, where do people find Chutes and Ladders?
On YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify.
Well, thanks to Ring of Honor, Pure Champ Lee Moriarty, and Desiree as well. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next time on Going Ringside.
This has been Going Ringside with The Local Station, brought to you every Wednesday on your favorite podcast player, on News4 Jax Plus, as well as the News4 Jax YouTube channel.